She liked moments that could not be edited. In a world of filters, presets, and endless redos, she found beauty in the raw, the immediate, the unchangeable. Her name was Alara, and her constant companion was a vintage Polaroid camera, a relic from a time when a picture was a singular, precious thing. She didn't just take photos, she captured feelings. The fleeting smile of a stranger, the way sunlight dappled through the leaves of an old oak tree, the steam rising from a cup of coffee on a rainy morning. Each click and whir of the camera was a commitment, a decision to preserve that exact slice of time, forever. There was no going back, no second chance. The image that emerged, slowly developing from a milky white canvas into a memory, was final. It was real. Her apartment was a mosaic of these moments. Walls weren't just walls. They were timelines, galleries of captured life. There were photos of her friends laughing so hard they cried, their faces crinkled with genuine joy. There were pictures of her cat, Midian, a perfect little monster. There were quiet, solitary moments too. Her own feet propped up with a good book, a half-eaten slice of apple pie, the view from a train window as the world blurred by. Each Polaroid was a story, a tiny rebellion against the curated perfection of the digital age. People would often ask her, "Why don't you just use your phone? It's so much easier." She would just smile and show them a photo. "Because this," she'd say, tapping the glossy square, "this is honest." The slightly off-center framing, the occasional light leak, the way colors weren't perfectly saturated, these weren't flaws. They were proof of life. They were the texture of memory. One crisp autumn afternoon, Ilara was wandering through a bustling flea market, her camera hanging from her neck like a medal. The air was filled with the scent of old books and cinnamon-dusted pastries. She was drawn to the chaos, the jumble of forgotten treasures looking for a new home. Her eyes scanned the crowds, searching not for things, but for moments. That's when she saw him. He was standing at a stall filled with old vinyl records, his fingers gently tracing the worn edges of an album cover. He had a look of quiet concentration on his face, a sort of nostalgic reverence that seemed to separate him from the noise around him. The low afternoon sun caught the side of his face, illuminating a kind smile that hadn't quite reached his eyes yet. It was a picture waiting to happen. Without thinking, she raised her camera. Click. Whir. The little white square slid out. She held it in her palm, waiting for the image to bloom. As the colors slowly swam into focus, she saw that she had captured it perfectly, the gentle light, the thoughtful expression, the whole quiet story of that single second. She felt a sudden impulse. Usually, her photos were for her alone, a private collection of the world as she saw it, but this one felt different. It felt like it belonged to him. Mustering her courage, she walked over. "Excuse me," she said, her voice a little shaky. He looked up, his eyes a warm hazel. I took this. I thought you might like to have it." She held out the still developing Polaroid. He took it from her, his fingers brushing against hers. He watched, fascinated, as his own image solidified on the small square. A slow, genuine smile spread across his face, this time reaching his eyes. "Wow," he said softly. "I don't think anyone's ever taken a picture of me like this before. It feels real." "That's the point," Alara replied, a matching smile on her own face. "No edits." His name was Liam. He was a musician, and the record he'd been holding was one his father used to play for him as a child. They started talking, right there among the dusty relics and forgotten histories. They talked about music, about art, and about the magic of tangible things in a digital world. It turned out he collected old records for the same reason she took Polaroids. For the crackle, the warmth, the honest imperfection of it all. He bought the record, and as they left the market together, Alara took another picture. This one was of the two of them, a selfie held at arm's length. It was slightly blurry and poorly framed, with the setting sun creating a massive lens flare. In the photo, they were both laughing. It was a mess, and it was perfect. That one picture became the first of many. There was the Polaroid of their hands, intertwined around two steaming mugs of hot chocolate, the one of Liam, Midstrom, on his guitar, his face lost in his own music, the one of their feet, side by side in the sand, as a wave washed over their toes. Their relationship developed just like one of Alara's photos. Slowly, with anticipation, revealing more and more color and detail over time. Liam didn't just become a subject in her photos. He became a part of her process. He'd point out moments she might have missed, the way a shadow fell just so. The joy on a child's face chasing pigeons. He saw the world with the same appreciation for the authentic. One day, Liam took her to an old, abandoned observatory on a hill overlooking the city. "I have something for you," he said, handing her a small, wrapped box. Inside was a Polaroid camera, but not just any camera. It was a rare, antique model, beautifully restored. "I know you love your camera," he said, "but I thought maybe we could have one for our moments." Ilara's eyes welled up. She looked at him, the man who had walked out of a fleeting moment and into her life. The man who understood that a memory wasn't something to be perfected, but something to be cherished, exactly as it happened. She raised the new camera, a gift that felt like a promise. She looked at Liam, standing there with the city lights twinkling behind him, his hopeful smile bathed in the twilight glow. It was a moment so beautiful, so full of emotion, that no filter could ever improve it. It didn't need one. She pressed the shutter. Click. Whir. A new memory began to emerge, unedited and true. And as she held it in her hand, watching their story develop, she knew this was her favorite one yet. It was a picture of a moment she would never want to change. A moment that was perfectly, wonderfully real. Thanks so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories that celebrate the beauty of the imperfect. See you next time.